All righty then, Brian, I know you've been busy. It's been hectic lately. It's the holiday season. You've got children. Many of us don't have 3 hours of our life to devote to WWE Monday Night Raw. Apparently, more than ever before, do not have the time to devote to Monday Night Raw. And some of the listeners have said, well, Cornette, you blister AEW. Why don't you blister the WWE as much as you blister AEW? So I'll try. I know you didn't watch it, but did you even read the recap of what they presented for 3 hours on this past Monday night, Brian Laster? Are you going as completely ignorant as usual?
Completely ignorant about Raw as usual.
All right.
You know what? I'm not a big fan of the Johnny Gargano era. And for the little bits I was able to watch Raw previously, now I just don't want to watch it at all. And I'm happy that we don't have to review it.
Well, we don't have to, but I want to keep the people up to date. Because apparently now Raw is tanking in the ratings. All the wrestling programs from everybody are starting to tank in the ratings. I figured, well, let's just see what they presented. And I went to pwinsider.com. Fine website. Mike Johnson and Dave Shearer, our friends, as well as the fellow who wrote this recap is named Richard Triunfo. I may have mispronounced that. But at any rate, the opening match was Bayley versus Alexa Bliss in a number one contender match. Now, before this, Becky Lynch had pulled Io Sky off the apron and sent her into the apron. This is the recap. And then Becky posted Dakota Kai and then threw them all out and chased them all away. And then they started the match. And apparently, from what I see of the recap, it was a very lengthy match, which ended, imagine this, with Alexa Bliss winning, this little 90-pound, but she's going to be hooked up with Bray Wyatt, because now Bianca Belair gets in the ring and offers a handshake to Alexa Bliss, and Alexa Bliss wants a hug, and then it says the Bray Blipvert goes off. Is that what they're now calling when the screwy videos pop up on the screen, I wonder?
Well, maybe not officially, but sounds
well,
like
whatever. Immediately, Alexa grabs Bianca and goes to give her sister Abigail. And here is the recap of a viewer watching the program. Alexa sets for sister Abigail, but she does not give it to Bianca. Bianca and Alexa are confused at what happened. And I bet you everybody else was too. Anyway, then there was some backstage stuff. Then we go to Chad Gable versus AJ Styles. And imagine this, Brian, AJ Styles won.
Just how long into the show are we right now?
Well, it doesn't have timestamps, but I bet you we're about 40 minutes in at this point, it looks like, from all the things that have been going on. But the point is, again, they have Chad Gable, who was great in a previous lifetime, and he's been made a complete fucking buffoon, screaming "shoosh," and the fat stupid guy that I've never met him personally. I'm talking about that's his gimmick, is he's a fat stupid guy. And even if AJ Styles is a star, seriously? Guess what match number 3 was? Akira Tozawa, Angelo Dawkins, and Montez Ford against Dominic Mysterio, Damian Priest, and Finn Balor. Okay, apparently we're going to get the Judgment Day, another win against people that nobody gives a shit about, which they did after a long match. Then we had a lot of Miz and Gargano and Dexter and talking. And here's the difference between why we watch some of the AEW shows and why we don't watch some of the WWE shows. Because at least with AEW, I will give them this. If they've got a guy that can talk, they'll let him do it. Now, it bites them in the ass when they have no good material for people that couldn't say suey if the hogs had them, as Mama Cornette used to say. But you'll get an MJF promo. Starks has been great recently. There's other guys that can fucking talk there because they're not giving them scripted, basically incontrovertible, written in stone verbiage to emote like they do on Raw. It's like, my God, here, say this. This is from Shakespeare. Say this just like this. And they stand there and try to do it. And on, because every promo on Raw goes fucking 20 minutes. I can't tell whether a guy can talk or not when he's trying to be an actor. But I can tell whether a guy can talk or not when he's trying to do a promo. And you say, at least every once in a while you'll see a promo on AEW. You don't see them at all in the WWE, so that means we're down to when Sami Zayn or Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns get a chance to talk. Everything else is high school drama class level.
And even, I was about to say, even some of the things you just cited aren't promos. They're skits or scenes or scenarios. They're not promos in the traditional sense of talking people in the door.
Or just interacting with people in a natural and, logical way instead of this constant fucking acting that because they've got a staff of 30 writers, they feel that they have to earn their money. Anyway, back to this program. After Gargano and Miz and Dexter and fucking all of that, they come back with Io Sky against Candice LeRae. And Io Sky picks up the victory with a moonsault. And then there's more business with Elias and Kevin Owens. And now Elias is telling Owens that it was his brother Ezekiel that was blah, 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 the whatever the fuck. And they try to have Elias do a tribute concert for the gone for 5 more weeks Matt Riddle. I don't know whether they said that or whether this writer is getting a little fucking smartass or not. But he does a tribute concert for Matt Riddle, except he's interrupted by Solo and Sammy. And they have a Elias versus Solo is now a match. And Solo wins that, thank God. And then, guess who the next match was? Asuka versus Rhea Ripley.
I did see some of this, actually, because I wanted to see this.
Apparently, this was long and competitive, according to the description. How, again, thankfully, Rhea Ripley won. But if you saw any of this, how were they able to make this tiny little
She's not tiny or little.
Stereotype.
That's why you're judging.
Competitive.
You're pretending she's smaller than she is.
I'm not pretending. They presented her like a goof and an imbecile and a racial stereotype.
That part is true.
Her against Rhea Ripley.
That part is true. But I don't think she stands out as being small or tiny or anything on that roster. She's been good in the ring. When used right, way back in Paul's NXT, she was great. And people were into her. I agree about the way she was used in Vince's WWE. Now, all of a sudden, she has no face paint on. I'm curious where that's going to go.
Was she talking like she's constipated?
She didn't get on the mic. For some reason, they gave everyone else mic time, but not her. And it was a good match.
Well, let's see exactly how they might allow her to become a normal human being.
It's a good match, and you know what else? She worked well with Rhea. And Rhea needs people to... We need to see more Rhea wrestling if you want people to care about your women's division. That's the person you should be showing a lot more of. And she needs people she can work with and have good physical matches with, and this was good.
Well, and then the main event, Bobby Lashley versus Seth Rollins, which, well, no, actually, that probably wouldn't be a bad match, but do I have to sit through 3 hours or 2 hours and 40 minutes of the previous blah, blah to get to it? And actually, it's not like it's a, it's not like it's a dream match, but go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm sick of both of these guys, but beyond just Rollins and his character being ridiculous, babyface Bobby Lashley doesn't work at all.
Well, anyway, maybe he's going to get a little bit harder edge because he has been fired. Bobby Lashley. Adam Pearce fired him at the end of this.
Congratulations.
Seth won, and then Lashley yelled at the referee and elbowed another one, and Adam Pearce came out and got mad at that, and Lashley pushed Pearce, and Pearce fired him. So now Lashley's gone for a while, I guess. Who knows? Maybe 7 days.
When Pearce is involved in a angle like this, when he's staring at Lashley and firing him, who do you think he sees, Sid or Ross?
Well, first of all, fuck Sid and Ross. That was the opening line to one of the greatest emails I've ever seen sent in the wrestling business. But nevertheless, so that was Raw, 3 hours. Again, nobody is trying to win this war. Everybody's trying to do the job. And the ratings are sinking. I can't even remember what. Was it last week or was it this program? Time is blurring now. They said was the lowest rated episode of Raw or hour of Raw in the series history.
The lowest hour was, I think, a week or two ago, and the ratings overall have continued to slide.
I wonder why.